Article 302. Robbery in an uninhabited place or in a private building. Any robbery committed in an uninhabited place or in a building other than those mentioned in the first paragraph of Article 299, if the value of the property taken exceeds 250 pesos, shall be punished by prison correctional in its medium and maximum periods, provided that any of the following circumstances is present. 1. If the entrance has been effected through any opening not intended for entrance or egress. 2. If any wall, roof, floor, or outside door or window has been broken. 3. If the entrance has been effected through the use of false keys, picklocks, and other similar tools. 4. If any door, wardrobe, chest, or any sealed or closed furniture or receptacle has been broken. 5. If any closed or sealed receptacle, as mentioned in the preceding paragraph, has been removed, even if the same be broken elsewhere. When the value of the property taken does not exceed 250 pesos, the penalty next lower in degree shall be imposed. In cases specified in Articles 294, 295, 297, 299, 300, and 302 of this code, when the property taken is male matter, large cattle, the offender shall suffer the penalties next higher in degree than those provided in said articles. Elements under Article 302, robbery in an uninhabited place or in a private building. Number 1. That the offender entered an uninhabited place or a building which was not a dwelling house and not a public building and not an edifice devoted to religious worship. 2. That any of the following circumstances was present. 1. The entrance was effected through an opening not intended for entrance or egress. 2. A wall, roof, floor, or outside door or window has been broken. 3. The entrance was effected through the use of false keys, picklocks, and other similar tools. 4. A door, wardrobe, chest, or any sealed or closed furniture or receptacle was broken. And 5. A closed or sealed receptacle was removed, even if the same be broken open elsewhere. Third element of robbery in an uninhabited place is that with intent to gain, the offender took therefrom personal property belonging to another. The uninhabited place is an uninhabited building, because paragraphs number 2 and 3 speaks of entrance, which necessarily refers to the building. Paragraph 2 speaks of parts of building. In U.S. versus Galuran, it was held that the robbery committed in a warehouse belonging to Smith, Bell, and Corporation in the city of Manila is one committed in an uninhabited place. There is inaccuracy in the English translation of Article 302. Robo en lugar no habitado or edificio particular. El robo cometido en lugar no habitado en un edificio que no sea de los comprendidos en el párrafo primero del artículo 299. The term lugar no habitado is erroneously translated as uninhabited place, a term which may be confounded with the expression uninhabited place in Article 299 and 300 of the Revised Penal Code, which is the translation of despoblado and which is different from the term lugar no habitado in Article 302. The term lugar no habitado is the antonym of casa habitado, inhabited house, in Article 299. Building other than those mentioned in the first paragraph of Article 299. The place where the robbery is committed under Article 302 must be a building which is not an inhabited house or public building or edifice devoted to religious worship. Although the store may be used as a dwelling, to sustain a conviction for robbery in an inhabited house, the information must allege that the store was used and occupied as a dwelling. Otherwise, the robbery should be considered as having perpetrated in the uninhabited place defined and penalized under Article 302 of the Revised Penal Code. What the term building includes. Under the term building, it included any kind of structure used for storage or safekeeping of personal property, such as a freight car or a warehouse. A pigsty is not a building within the meaning of Article 302, which refers to habitable buildings. Entrance through an opening not intended for entrance or egress, or after breaking a wall, roof, or floor, or door, or window, or through the use of false keys, picklocks, and other similar tools is not necessary. If there is breaking of wardrobe, chest, or sealed or closed furniture or receptacle, or removal thereof to be broken open elsewhere. Paragraphs 4 and 5 of Article 302 does not require that the offender must have entered the uninhabited building through an opening not intended for entrance or egress after breaking a wall, roof, floor, door, or window, or through the use of false keys, picklocks, and other similar tools. The word entrance in paragraphs 1 and 3 is not used in paragraphs number 4 and 5. While it is true that the word entrance is not also used in paragraph 2, yet it can be inferred that entrance is required under that paragraph. Unkneeling of cloth over the door of freight car is breaking by force. The unkneeling of a piece of cloth which was nailed over the door so as to seal it, the customary manner of sealing a freight car, is held to be breaking by force. Take note, to compare this case with the case of People versus Fernandez, where it was held that the door must be broken. Breaking padlock is use of force upon things. The crime committed by the accused who entered into a warehouse is breaking the padlock of the house and took away the personal property is robbery. Take note that this ruling does not seem to be justified by any of the paragraphs in Article 302. It cannot be under breaking outside door because only the padlock, not the door, was broken. It cannot be under the use of false key because no false key was used. The decision of the Court of Appeals in this point is different from that of the Supreme Court. In the case of People versus Pozon, the Court of Appeals held that the accused to destroy the padlock of the door of the garage of the district engineer's office and took therefrom 335 tires was guilty of theft because the door or the lock thereof was not broken, for it was only the detachable accessory gadget, the padlock, which was broken. Use of fictitious name or pretending the exercise of public authority, not in this article. The use of fictitious name or pretending the exercise of public authority is not a means of entering the building under this article, because the place is uninhabited and no person could be deceived thereby. The receptacle must be closed or sealed. The furniture or receptacle here is sealed or closed. In Article 299, it is either locked or sealed. If a person who has entered a warehouse opened without breaking a closed but not locked chest and took therefrom personal property, would that be robbery? It would seem that it is only theft because paragraphs number 4 and 5 use respectively the phrase has been broken and be broken open, implying that there must be breaking of the receptacle to constitute the robbery. A receptacle is a container. It would seem that an example of sealed or closed receptacle is a crate which contains article of merchandise. Thus, the breaking of a crate containing a television set inside a building at the pier and taking its contents is robbery. Example of robbery in an uninhabited place. The servant of the owner of an oil mill who takes away the key of the warehouse and hands it to another, who in turn opens the warehouse with the key and steals and takes away oil from the warehouse is also guilty of robbery in an uninhabited house as principal by conspiracy. If any closed or sealed receptacle has been removed, even if the same be broken elsewhere, is the mere removal of closed or sealed receptacle sufficient under paragraph 5 of Article 302? It seems that it is not sufficient. Although the phrase, even if the same be broken open elsewhere, does not indicate a condition or requisite that the closed or sealed receptacle be broken after removing it, this kind of robbery requires at least an intention to open it by force. Closed or sealed receptacle, removed and broken open elsewhere. 2 persons at night entered the office and store of a corporation located in M.D. Comillas, Manila. Entrance was effected through the door without using force to open it. A closed steel safe was removed from the building and taken to a place where it was forced open. The 2 persons took the contents thereof. The crime committed is robbery under paragraph 5 of Article 302. Taking of male matter or large cattle of any kind of robbery makes the penalty higher by 1 degree. When the property taken is a male matter or large cattle during any of the robbery defined in Articles 294, 295, 297, 299, 300, and 302, the penalties next higher in degree than those provided in said article shall be imposed. Article 302, the last paragraph. Is this qualified robbery? There is no such name of crime, but since the penalty is 1 degree higher, it may be called qualified robbery. Motor vehicle, coconuts, and fish are not included. Take note that only male matter and large cattle are mentioned in Article 302. Motor vehicle and coconuts in the plantation and fish in the fish pond are not included. Thus, if the culprit breaks the door of a garage, which is a dependency of a dwelling house, and took from the garage a jeep, the penalty for the crime committed is not 1 degree higher. Penalty is based only on the value of the property taken. Take note that the offenders being armed is not important under this article for the reason that there is no person who can be injured or killed. This circumstance is important under Article 299 for graduating the penalty because when the offender is armed, there is the danger of the inmates being injured or killed. Robbery in a store, when punishable under Article 299 or under 302. If the store is used as a dwelling house of one or more persons, the robbery committed therein must be considered as committed in an inhabited house under Article 299. If the store was not actually occupied at the time of the robbery and was not used as a dwelling, since the owner lived in a separate house, the robbery committed therein is punished under Article 302. If the store is located in the ground floor of the house belonging to the owner of the store, having an interior entrance connected therewith, it is a dependency of an inhabited house, and the robbery committed therein is punished under the last paragraph of Article 299.